Hey guys, I'm Waffle Pump, and this is Sushi!
Ah, Miss Looky!
You're a little ferret, yes you are. Look at you, you're a little ferret.
And today I'm going to be reviewing a demo, not a full game, just a demo, of a game that people have been waiting to come out and is actually coming out pretty soon. That game, of course, is... forgot to turn it on. And that game is Super Smash Bros. Now, even though it's just a demo, it has surpassed my expectations in nearly every way. You know, you can't really expect too much from a demo, but in this case, I think everyone was expecting quite a lot from Nintendo, given how much they've hyped it up. Since they've hyped it up, everyone's hyped it up. Who hasn't hyped up, you know, the new Super Smash Bros.? I mean, look at Brawl. Look at how much hype was for Brawl. I mean, Nintendo stock jumped up to like, what, 70-something dollars, like $75 per share. I mean, yes, some of that was for the Wii, but it jumped from like 50 to 75 whenever Brawl came out. So first, the gameplay. It actually plays identically to Brawl, except for a few key things, and a few things I only just found out, and I was so surprised by when they happened, I didn't really have time to, you know, capture what really went on or what really happened. I was just like, whoa, okay, that didn't happen in Brawl, that's weird. And it didn't even happen in Melee, so I was even more like, whoa, what's going on? Now, as far as moving around, no, you cannot use the D-pad to move around. The D-pad is only for taunts. The analog stick is the only way to move around, and it does feel strange at first getting used to it, but you get the hang of it pretty quickly. And as far as the buttons go, it was a bit weird. The layout is kind of odd. Although I suppose if you're used to Melee, it's not too odd, because X is to jump, and of course X is at the top, and then B is at the bottom, and A is to the right, and I don't really use Y too much. And of course X is to jump, you know, up, jump. Start button's still a little weird to press, but I think the start button's always weird to press on a 3DS, because you're not pressing it all too often. It can get kind of confusing and frustrating whenever you're trying to pause it in the middle of a battle, because you're battling like, okay, gotta do this, gotta go there, gotta jump, gotta attack, oh shit, dinner's ready, start, god damn it! And then even though it's just a few seconds, it still cost you quite a bit. All in all, it took me about 3 rounds to fully get comfortable with the controls. And that's another thing, the controls are very close together compared to other, you know, iterations of Super Smash Bros. And it may just be me feeling that way, but on the GameCube, the A button was, you know, a bit big and the B was smaller, and X and Y were kind of oddly placed, but now it's like a typical control pad. They're spaced evenly apart and they each feel the same. There's just something about it when you're holding it in your hand and you're really playing it, it just feels good, and it's hard to describe unless you've played it yourself. But until you physically hold it while you're playing Super Smash Bros. On that screen, it doesn't really, you know, hit. It doesn't tick. The next thing I want to talk about is the 3D aspect of it. Now, a lot of games, I'm not saying most, I'm just saying a lot of them, maybe not even a lot of them, maybe just a good bit, maybe not even a good bit, maybe just a few. When I think of it, I can't really think of any that rely on it. Anyway, it does not rely on the 3D aspect at all, and it doesn't do anything to the gameplay, but what it adds is, I guess it would be best described as depth. And we haven't really seen anything really in terms of depth when it comes to any of the Smash Brothers titles. So now that we actually do have a Smash Brothers title that has real tangible depth, it's kind of a weird thing to think about and a weird thing to really see. When you see it and you're playing it, it doesn't really feel out of place, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to add anything to the game by having 3D. It's more there as, hey, you have a 3DS, oh no, hey, look, here's Smash Brothers, let's just combine the two, and yeah, you can have 3D if you want. Without 3D, it's an excellent game. It is an amazing game. But whenever you turn 3D on, whoa, it is a completely different experience. The 3D changes the entire experience. Now, it's not to say it makes it any better or worse, it just makes it a bit different. But it's the good kind of different. Like finding a $20 bill on the ground and then opening it up and then seeing there's another $1 bill inside. It's not really enough to have any real powerful impact, but it does definitely leave you with an experience that you will be remembering for quite a while. Now, personally, I've already put in quite a few hours, and I've only had it for about 24 hours. I want to say I put in like around 7 hours. That's only 5 characters and 1 stage. Not to mention only 1 playstyle and 2 game modes. Even with as little as the demo gives us, I still feel as though the demo's given us a lot more than we could have hoped. I certainly know it gave me a lot more than I hoped for and even expected. I did not expect anything of this caliber. I don't even think I could have imagined something of this caliber. It's the 4th game in a fantastic series from an amazing company. We started out with Super Smash Bros. And then we got Melee. And then from Melee we got Brawl, and I think we all know how hyped up Brawl was. But that hype was definitely worth it, in my opinion at least. And now the hype for these 2 upcoming games is certainly not unfounded. Now, I myself wasn't a Platinum member, I actually got it from another Tumblr user, so Benichi doesn't really have a copy of her own. Not yet, not until next week. It was a random act of kindness from an almost completely random stranger. The entire experience left me satisfied. More than satisfied, it left me impressed. And let me tell you, it takes a lot to impress me, especially from a video game. I'm not saying my opinions are necessarily the greatest opinions. Nintendo promised to deliver, and let me tell you, Nintendo delivered. I could show bits and pieces of me playing, but I don't think that would just have the same effect as actually playing it. That's about it, really. It was an amazing demo. I can't wait until everybody gets it next week, because then I'll get to play with everyone. Now, a week early, I don't really have anyone to play it with. Even with this 5-character roster and this measly 1 level to choose from, it is so far one of the most promising Smash Brothers games I've seen. I would seriously and honestly give this demo a 10 out of 10. Full 10 out of 10. They've gone above and beyond all expectations I could have ever had, and I think they will surpass yours too. Until next time, I'm Waffle Pump, and you're watching Companions Cubed.